Wingy Boxing, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. What's going on? The main man, Dave. How you feeling, Dave?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Back at it again, aren't we? January, almost the end of January.
Do you know what? I've missed it. It's good. It's good to be back. It's really good to be back.
Very random. I got called the other day a Fat Dave Coldwell.
What?
I got called a Fat Dave Coldwell.
Really?
Yeah. I don't quite know where they got that from, but...
Really?
Yeah, someone said...
That's a new one.
Yeah.
So does that mean that... I'm not saying you're fat, but does that mean that I'm a skinny winger?
I don't know what's going on. Anthony Fowler, he loves it, doesn't he? He loves it.
Yeah, he does. He does. Listen,
Fitzgerald, great
for this
fight.
shit.
I said to Eddie when I was interviewing him, this is the fight. This is the
Yeah,
fight.
it is, yeah.
Talk to me. How do you feel going into it?
Oh, mate, I'm excited for it. We've wanted. I wanted this kind of fight for him since he was 6-0. I've actually asked for this fight since he was 6-0. Stylistically, it's a great fight for the fans. Stylistically, it's a great fight for Fowler because it's he's in with a guy that's going to be there trying to knock his block off, trying to win, not trying to give it a go. And something that's dangerous, can punch, and is well schooled because he himself's had a good amateur background and he's been around the pros a long time. I don't know if it's about 4 years or something like that. He's had more fights, more experience. So it's a good fight for him, and I'm looking forward to people being able to see a little bit more of him because he's not fighting a guy that's just trying to survive. It's so hard trying to look good against guys that as soon as they feel a bit of power of you, they just lock down, they just want to survive. Fitzgerald's going to be in there trying to knock him out no matter what. He's a real fighter, he's going to get caught with shots and he's going to keep coming. So, I'm looking at him. We're looking forward to it. That's what we want, that's what boxing's about, and that's the only way that your fighter is going to develop and learn and get better.
What's it like trying to temper that confidence? I mean, I love it. I love all of that.
It's not an effort at all.
Eddie says it's Marmite, but I like it. It's what it's all about. It's exciting.
But if it's Marmite, some people like Marmite.
That's it.
So you like it, plenty don't. Listen, in boxing, you have people, everybody that you're going to interview, everybody that's going to be up on the table there, everybody's going to be TV you're going to interview, everybody's got a personality. Whether you like them or not, they've got a personality. If Fowler didn't have a personality, you won't be interested in having an interview with him. If Fowler didn't have a personality, you won't be interested in seeing him on top table talking. You won't ask him a question because what's he going to give one-word answers? A lot of footballers, because of what they've got to do, is the same answers all the time, very, very, very restricted because of media training or restrictions that they have to do because they can't get into trouble. So in boxing, you get to see a little bit more personality, and if you have a personality, you're not always going to like that personality. People perceive you of being this and that, but it's just you giving an opinion or answering a question a certain way, and people are either going to agree with it or they're not. And Fowler comes across on the outside, they see him. It's like what you said to me. How are you going to temper that confidence? He comes across as though he's hard to deal with, hard to work with. That's exactly why I wasn't going to train him originally. When he asked me to coach me, when he sent me a text and said, I'd like to come down and train with you, blah blah blah. The first thing I said to my missus is, "Fucking hell, I don't want to work with him," because I knew him and I liked him. Like from an arm's length. I sponsored him for when he was in the Commonwealth Games. But at an arm's length, he's a nice kid. But I see his Twitter, and I thought, he talks so much shit. I can't cope with that. He'll come down, he'll have this ego, he'll think he's better than what he is. I don't need to deal with that. So I went to the meeting to sit down and talk to him with the attitude that it weren't going to happen. And then when I started telling him, listen, I think you do this wrong. You ain't going to win nothing in pros if you do this. He was like, I completely said what I was thinking. So I was like, okay, I can work with that. And that's how he is. In the gym, he understands that the amateur career doesn't count for anything in pros. He understands that. You can't not get confident and have that inner belief after 210 fights when you've been as successful as he has. You can't not have that. When you've been punched off of the elite guys in the amateurs that have gone on to do a lot of good things in the pros, and you've been in there, you've sampled that, and you can't not have that confidence. But add to the fact that he has, not for 10 weeks, not for 8 weeks of camp, 12 weeks of camp, for literally every day for the last I don't know what it is, 15 years or so, he's lived his life for boxing. So mentally, you're going to be a little bit different to everybody else that's just watching this interview, that watches his fight. He's got something about him that's different to everybody else. So does that sometimes that'll come across as where it's different and people don't like it? Yeah, it will do. Sometimes it doesn't. He might not think about what he's saying, and so he'll say things that people don't like. But away from social media and away from him trying to interact with as many people, because that's the problem, is when you try and interact with as many people as you can, you are going to piss people off. People aren't going to like you. And away from social media, in my gym, I don't care what it's like anywhere else. In my gym, it does everything that he has
that's all
to
that
do.
matters, isn't it? Yeah.
And I don't have to control his ego whatsoever, because we don't spar great and then come out and say, oh, I did this, I did that. It's like, because I'm telling him what his mistake is making. I say, yeah, we need to, yeah, he'll come, yeah. And his attitude is, I just need to keep working at it. And so, as a student, that's what you want. You know, I haven't got a problem with confidence. The problem is where it's overconfidence. He isn't overconfident, even though you would see that on the outside.
Right, I got you.
You only hear the stuff that he's saying where he is confident. You don't see the work that he puts in on his faults. That shows that he's not overconfident. Because if we weren't putting him working on to iron his faults out, that's overconfidence, because you think you can get away with it. He doesn't think he can get away with stuff. He understands that when he steps up, people will take him to school on the things that he does that aren't right. He understands that his feet aren't quite right yet. He's still working at it. You know, he understands that he's got to have that head movement. He understands that he can't just take shots in order to land shots. And he's getting better. And he's 9 fights in, and he lives for boxing. He absolutely lives for boxing. You know, he don't sit. He's never sat there and moaned about, oh, I can't get motivated, or I can't do this. He lives for boxing.
Good.
Right? He lives for it. I never. If anything, I have to tell him, right, that's it, no more, done. I have to tell him, right, tomorrow, nothing. We'll have an easy session. I have to tell him, right, that's the amount of rounds we're doing today. Oh, but I feel like, can we do a couple more? I'm like, no, that's it. He wants to do more because he believes that the more I do, the better I'm going to become. Sometimes it's not about the more I do. Sometimes you need to take the brake off the pedal a little bit. But as a student, he's a great kid to have in the gym. He really is, and he's a great role model. It's just that social media gives an impression of people. It's like this interview. You're getting a snippet, a few minutes of my personality, of my life. Right?
He's a terrible person. He's horrible to me, everybody. He's a really terrible person, Dave. He
some
really
people
is.
like
He's
it,
a nightmare.
And some people don't. Majority of people don't.
Same with me, I think.
But that's how it is.
It's life, innit?
But it's like we're just doing what we do, and that's what he's doing.
What do you think of the main event? How does that play out? Just quickly, Smith and Eggington.
Good fight. Listen, it's a fan-friendly fight. It's a fan-friendly fight. Eggington's going to come and give it like he always does. He's exciting, but he gets hit. Liam Smith's a very clever fighter, very good fighter. You know, he's been at that level as well. I just think he's another level to Eggington, and I like Eggington. I've been a big fan of his career, but Liam Smith's a good fighter, and he's a good fighter that's kind of like not reborn, but feels, you know, reinvigorated, recharged, because it's a new beginning for him, and he's going to be on fire. And it's going to be an exciting fight for however long it lasts, but I just think that Smith will dissect him.
Dave, as always, thank you for giving me your time. Always give me your time, I appreciate it.
Thank you for asking.
Thanks for speaking to Wingy Boxing IFL TV. Going to lose a bit of weight so I can become look a bit more like you, brother, with a bit.
You're too tall. It's done.
Thank you, brother.
Nice, mate. Cheers.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.